Thanks for tuning in to Know Wine in No Time. I'm your host Dave, and today we're talking about a specific wine called Muscadet. Now Muscadet wines hail from the westernmost part of the Loire River Valley in France, in an area in or around the city of Nantes. Vineyards here are very flat, and they all face the south. And the reason why they face south is to try to catch as much of the sunshine as they possibly can. When we look at the Atlantic Ocean and the area inland, all of these vineyards are going to be anywhere from 6 miles to 60 miles away from the Atlantic Ocean. So this area has a very specific maritime type of climate. When we look at the soils in this area, they're made up largely of a soil type called gneiss. And gneiss is porous rock, which is vitally important. When we have low-lying vineyards, we need to have those particular soils drain very quickly. And when we have porous rocks, it allows the surface water to go down below so we don't actually drown the roots. Also in this particular area, there are salt deposits that the French called fleurs de sel. And fleur de sel, literally translated, means salt flowers. And in this part of the Loire, these salt deposits are there because it was an ancient seabed. Now the salt deposits are vitally important to a Muscadet because they add just a little bit of salinity to the wine itself, which gives it an amazingly zippy yet refreshing flavor that pairs very well with, you guessed it, seafood. So we'll get back to that a little more in just a moment. Now here in Muscadet, the actual term Muscadet refers to a wine style. But Muscadet is not the grape itself. The grape is actually a transplant from Burgundy, and it's called Melon de Bourgogne. So kind of spelled Melon de Bourgogne or Burgundy. And when this particular grape found its way to the extreme western Loire, it really found a home in that area and has flourished ever since. Now there's also something else interesting about a Muscadet. Most Muscadets will be labeled as Serre-Lie. Now Serre-Lie means with the lees, and this actually means that whenever we ferment a wine, we're actually using yeast to ferment the grape juice and convert the sugars to alcohol. Well, when that yeast dies, it's called lees. And by aging the wine on the lees, or Serre-Lie, we actually have a more rounder and creamier style of wine itself. So it makes it significantly more palatable. And finally, another thing you might see on a Muscadet wine label is the words Sévère et Maine. And Sévère et Maine means between the two rivers of Les Sévères Nantais and Les Petites Maine. Those are the two river systems in that particular area. So I brought a really nice example of what I feel is a good expression of a Muscadet. And this comes from Les Algédères. And this is a Muscadet, Serre-Lie, Sévère et Maine. So let's go ahead and take a look at it and see what we think. Well, this particular wine is very light in its color, just basically straw yellow. If we swirl to liberate some of the aromas, the first thing that leaps out of the glass is something of a mandarin orange. Then we have a little bit of peach and maybe some white nectarine that comes out. Let's go ahead and taste the wine. Wow, Muscadet has really quite complex flavors. The first thing that we notice when it enters the front side of the palate is the really nice citrus flavors, but think more soft citrus, things like oranges and tangerines, not grapefruits and lemons. But when it reaches mid-palate, it gets some lift from the acidity that's naturally in this wine. And then when it rolls across the back palate, you do taste just a little bit of that salinity, and it really pulls it all together with some nice body. Now, I had mentioned before that this wine pairs beautifully with seafood, and that's correct. If we look at its location being 6 to 60 miles from the Atlantic Ocean, it naturally pairs very well with seafood. But a little bit of that salinity and a significant amount of acidity are things that seafood loves to kind of bond with, and it really complements it quite well. So I'm going to enjoy a little bit more of this Muscadet. That's all the time we have for today, but I ask you to come back next time, because soon you'll know wine in no time.